have a plan, have a strategy. And that's the best way that you're going to be prepared for your... I'm starting the show today with one of my favorite quotes. Great vision without great people is irrelevant. Jim Collins, guy who wrote Good to Great, wonderful book. Highly suggest it to anyone who is starting their own business or has been in business for a while or is in a leadership role. I think it's a great book that everyone should read. One of the things that I want to talk about today is some of the things that I've come across over my 15 years of working with several businesses. Is a common mistake that I see that CEOs make is that they make their problems their employees' problems. This happens so many times. And one of the things that really is troubling about this style of management and leadership is that it doesn't create a very good culture in your company because your employees are constantly on pins and needles for a variety of reasons, right? So one of them is, oh, wait, maybe the company is not doing so well. Or, maybe, I'm not going to have a job next month because the owner or the CEO is coming in and telling me the sky is falling. When you have those type of feelings, right, like we talked about in one of the other episodes, you need to keep those things to yourself. You do not need to burden your employees, with the woes that you're going through in your company. They don't need to know that. They need to understand what your vision is and where you're going with this. And you can see that distinctively in the way that your business operates. What I've seen is that the companies that don't do that and stay focused on their vision and making sure they're developing their team and not burdening them with the woes of the company or, the very emotional roller coaster that people put on them, they're going to produce better for you, right? They're going to do a better job because they know that you're confident. Think about it. You're their leader, right? So if you're leading people into battle, you don't want to be like, okay, guys, there's probably a chance that only one or two of you are going to survive. People are probably not going to be super excited about the plan. And you just need to understand that it is so important to have that resolve and be resilient. And that's another key word. One of the things that I talk about that is going to make you successful in resisting that urge to take those problems and put them on your employees' plate. Because the ones that don't are the ones that are winning right now because they've got a clear vision. They've got a group of employees that they're developing, that they're bringing on board that have a clear understanding of where the company is going and what's expected of them and how they need to treat your customers. And that's something that I can't stress enough. It's so easy to do. I've been guilty of it. I have. If something comes up, it's just really easy to kind of share some of that frustration, but it's just not really the time or the place. If you have, an issue that you need to vent out, call somebody who you trust, a mentor, a coach, talk it through with them. Your employees are not there to be your psychologist. They're not there to be your coach. You're there to lead them, and they need to know that when they come to work that you're solid and the company is solid. That's how you're going to get to your goals. So just going back to that quote, I just want to spend a little bit of time on that particular piece. I'm going to say it again. Great vision without great people is irrelevant. So we can have all the best ideas and the best vision for where we want to go or where we want our company to go. But if you don't have the talent of dedicated people to go along with you on that journey, you're not going to get there. It's not going to be something that's even going to really be achievable. If you think about every single company that Jim talks about in the book, and I highly suggest you read it, they had good people. That was the clear common denominator, is that they understood what their vision was. They were clear on that, and they made sure that they got people on board on their team that understood what that vision was, and they were the right people to help get it done. So many times, for whatever reason, we tend to do this, right? When you're talking about hiring, maybe you get desperate, right? You get in a jam, and sometimes it's like, it could be a good problem. Oh man, I've made so many sales this month, right? That I need to get, 2 or 3 people onboarded to help with this. But think about what you're doing. What is going to be a better solution? If you get the wrong people on your team, right? Which is going to create long-term problems and set you back even further, or maybe you figure figure out a way to deal with the increase in sales, right, with your current team, and make sure that you're looking for the right person. Because when you really weigh those two out, what sounds like a better long-term solution, right? You want to make sure that, you're putting the right person in the right place, so you can continue to service those customers well, so you don't lose them or lose other customers that you've worked really hard for, right? We've all been there, right? You don't want a situation like that to, deter your growth of your company. But here's even another thought that I oftentimes will encourage other business owners to think about, and CEOs, is that you need to plan for the future. Don't be reactive, be proactive. If you know that you're rolling out a specific strategy that's going to grow your business, right, exponentially, then be prepared. I mean, that's a great motto. Be prepared. Take an opportunity to look at the potential growth you're going to have and plan ahead. Put together a program, a hiring program. What type of people are you looking for, right? What are your core values? What type of character are you looking for in an individual that's going to join your team and help you get where you need to be? How are you going to train those individuals? What is that going to look like? Can you get that individual up to speed, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month? How long does it take to train that specific individual? Take a moment and put some time and effort into that and get yourself, if that's something that you don't have direction on internally because you've never been there, then go seek outside help. There are consultants, coaches that are out there. Bring them in to assess the situation and be prepared. It's always better to have a plan. You have to understand what the root cause of whatever that situation is going to be, right? So the root cause doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It can be a very good thing, right? So what is going to be the root cause of your growth? Okay, well, I'm rolling out this new marketing program, or I'm putting more boots on the ground, whatever that is, but the expected result could be this. We expect it to be this, but we need to prepare for that. That's the one way that I would definitely say is something that people miss all the time, is that they're not thinking about the future. They're thinking about, well, what does this look like if, I increase by 5%? Well, what if you increase by 50%? Are you prepared for that? What good is all that hard work, all that development, all of that motivation and resilience and all the pain that you have to go through and all the good times and bad times if, you hit a home run and you grow your company by 50%, but you can't handle the business? At that point, that is just a huge, huge fail. Right. And that's the thing that we want to avoid, and we don't want to step in that type of scenario. So I think it's very important for you to think about, where your business is going to be, not in the next quarter, the next year, the next 2 years, the next 5 years. And you need to make a plan, and that plan could be adjusted, right? I mean, you plan, with, a specific strategy in mind, but we all know that things happen and markets may shift and things, may come up, but then you just look at that plan again. And if you need to make some adjustments, go ahead, but have a plan, have a strategy. And that's the best way that you're going to be prepared for your growth. And that's how you're going to be successful. So again, thank you for tuning in today. And again, I just want to emphasize that have a strategy, and that is going to be a key to success. If you want to subscribe, or I encourage you to subscribe, to our podcast, and we are HeyCharles77 on all social media platforms.